Be still, everyone. This is Tosha, and you're tuning into the Supernova Tosha Show podcast, the show that addresses social issues and how it affects our community. And today we're going to be discussing the Porta Potty parties in Dubai. Well, today's a story that is uncomfortable and is also controversial. So if you are the faint of heart, please make sure that I'm just forewarning you at this time. The topic today is regarding the Porta Potty parties that happens in Dubai. And I just want us to get into it. Number one, do you know what these parties are about? Have you ever heard of the Porta Potty? Porta Potty parties. And do you know what it is? Have you ever heard of it? Are they real? Is it just tabloid news, sensational news? Or, is it real? Is it fake? Who are the participants to these parties? Who are hosting these parties, throwing these parties, who are invited to these parties? Well, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and show this first video to introduce you so that you are a little bit more familiar as I get into further into the podcast. All right, here we go.
Instagram models and their confessions. The real victims of Dubai Porta Potty and their dark experiences. A few months ago, we posted a video talking about the Dubai Porta Potty, Instagram models, and their confessions. A lot of people really liked that video. And in the comments, many were curious about the actual victims of the Dubai Porta Potty. So, today we're going to get into the stories of these real victims, their dark experiences, and how things went up. If you haven't heard about the strange term Dubai Porta Potty, count yourself lucky. But for those who are curious and sometimes find themselves wandering into weird corners of the internet late at night, here's a truly odd story for you. A little while back, some TikTok videos started popping up, talking about a pretty wild idea. Influencers supposedly getting paid to go to Dubai and, well, participate in some unusual activities involving toilets, all in exchange for money, fancy.
All right. So I don't know about you, but that was pretty intense. And so we're back. Welcome back. Those pictures are vivid, colorful, and downright vile. And I just wanted to illustrate the other side of wealth filled with power and exploitation, broadcasted and popularized in the age of social media. So Dubai, the United Arab Emirates has cultivated a reputation for being bold and extravagant and, futuristic as well. Everything there is designed to impress, from the tallest building in the world, it's called the Burj Khalifa, to man-made islands that are shaped like palm trees and shaped like the world. So the city practically runs on a go big or go home sort of a vibe, right? If you've ever been to Dubai, I've never been to Dubai. I'm kind of torn if I ever wanted to go. I don't know if, I hear about, the go big or go home, and that kind of attracts me. And I'm a excursion person, except if it has to do with heights. I'm really not into heights, but, at one point I was interested, but I'm not. Places that have a lot of strict rules, again, especially when it comes to women, I tend to avoid them. But I don't know. I know a lot of people who've been and they continue to go and they absolutely love it. So, some women give their accounts as the bizarre events that take place at these Dubai Porta Potty parties. And I just want you to take a look and listen to what actually goes down in Dubai at these specific parties. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this other video and you take a look and listen.
Gifts and even free stays in posh hotels. Now, most of the TikToks that followed were either people talking about it or giving summaries. Some even featured recordings of women who claimed to have been part of this bizarre arrangement, sharing details from their contracts or telling their unusual tales. It's definitely one of the weirdest stories you might come across. There's a video where a young woman seems really worried while reading a paper. In it, she agrees to go to Dubai, get tested for diseases, and do certain sexual things with a guy named Sultan Ali. She also talks about doing sexual stuff with someone younger related to the client, She says she'll get $25,000 before her trip and the rest later. It's said there are videos online where women are treated terribly, like their toilets in Dubai. These videos involve poop and are really gross, so it's better not to watch them. People have been talking about these toilet videos since 2016, and there are stories and pictures about them online. They're only for people who are into sexual stuff involving poop. The website where these videos are from seems to have started around 2021. Now, let's talk about another strange story shared by a TikToker and ex-flight attendant named Hocus Bogus 2.0. She recently revealed some unsettling experiences she had while working. According to her, there were influencers and models on flights who seemed to be involved in what she called business transactions. She explained that these passengers on their way to Dubai would eat a lot of high-fiber foods during the flight and proudly talk about their plans. It all felt a bit strange, and she decided to share everything she heard. Here's a breakdown. One day, a person in first class, who she called a friend, was eating a breakfast that was really high in fiber. This friend excitedly shared with Hocus Bogus 2.0 that someone else in first class was constantly talking about their fiber intake. Curious, the flight attendant started asking questions during a chat in the galley, the airplane's kitchen area. As she recounted the incident, she said they were sitting in the galley chatting like we usually do, and the girl was like, "Yeah, babes, I'm just trying to get my fiber in." And she's eating all this stuff like oatmeal, Greek yogurt. I didn't ask her anything, but she kept telling me, "I've got to get my fiber in. I've got to get my fiber in." Like she really wanted to share her little secret. So, it seems like there's something peculiar going on with passengers eating high-fiber meals on their way to Dubai, and Hocus Bogus 2.0 couldn't help but find it all quite weird. Another lady has shared a really upsetting story about Dubai Porta Potty experience. This is when she was tricked into doing something really gross in exchange for money. Before, we talked about how some women go to Dubai to be with rich Arab men who do strange things during intimate moments, like going to the bathroom in their mouths. Now, a lady from Ghana is telling her own story about this Dubai Porta Potty thing. She was fooled into it and didn't want to go through with all the gross stuff. So instead of getting the promised $18,000, she only got $5,700. She shared this secret story with someone she calls Auntie Amma because she felt the need to tell someone after seeing others talk about similar things. She met a woman on Facebook who traveled to Dubai a lot and claimed to make money by doing certain things. The victim thought it was just with one person and agreed to go with her, even though she couldn't afford it. The woman promised to pay for her, and she would pay her back later. When they got to Dubai, they didn't go to a hotel like she thought. Instead, they went to a big house owned by an Arab man. She realized he was the person she was supposed to be with. That night, the situation turned really bad, and the man demanded explicit things, even using violence and threats with a live snake. The next day, the woman who brought her insulted her and sent her back to Ghana with only $5,700. Now she's been dealing with the emotional and physical scars for almost a year and is thinking about ending her life. She tried reporting to the police, but they didn't help, making her feel even worse. In another story, a woman shared a strange experience where she was offered $16,000 to go to Dubai and allegedly fulfill a prince's bizarre fetishes, like having someone pee on her. Saint Mullen, who lives in London, talked about it on TikTok. She got a message on Instagram from someone who said they were a friend of a prince in Dubai. In her TikTok video, which lots of people watched, more than 2 million to be exact, she showed messages where they talked about the money they would pay her and what they wanted her to do. Saint, who makes videos and works as a personal trainer, told the Mirror newspaper that she never planned to go to Dubai. Instead, she kept talking to the person just to see how far they would go with the weird conversation. The messages said the prince, who's apparently super rich with 321 million, was throwing a yacht party and wanted Saint to be there because he thought she was really attractive. The prince was willing to pay her $16,000 to be at the party with him and his friend, which is a tiny bit of his total money. Some people have said before that influencers and models get invited to Dubai for strange things, but a lot of them don't tell the police about it. The invitation to Dubai got weird when the message said, "You won't have to pay anything in Dubai, but we need you to do something for us." They explained, "The prince and I have certain things we like, and if you help us with that, everything is on us." I can tell you what they are. The things they liked included feet, hands, and a strange thing with urination. When Saint said no, the person begged her to just do foot stuff. Saint said, "It was so random. I didn't know it had to do with the Doobie Porta Potty. I wasn't going to make a video about it. But then I saw other people going through the same thing, so I wanted to tell everyone to be careful." She added, "The cost didn't matter to me because I wasn't going to go anyway. I get messages from sugar daddies and stuff, but when you have a lot of followers, you get more messages and even scams." Nobody checked if the messages were really from someone connected to the Dubai prince. Saint thought the account was real, but she knows it might not be the person's personal account because it could be easily reported. Radha Sterling is the CEO of a group called Detained in Dubai. She told a newspaper called The Mirror that some famous people like social media influencers and artists have told her that they were invited to parties in Dubai. But when they got there, they were pressured into doing things of a sexual nature. Detained in Dubai helps people with legal problems in Dubai. It helps them with cases in both civil and criminal law. Dubai is a place in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, and the legal system there can be difficult to understand. According to Sterling, women who experienced these incidents felt scared to tell the police because they thought they might get in trouble or have their passports taken away. This would make it hard for them to leave Dubai if they wanted to. Sterling explained, "We've heard from a number of influencers and artists who went to Dubai for performances and events. However, they ended up being drawn into parties where they were pressured to do things they didn't want to do. Even though Dubai is known for being safe, it seems to be a risky place for people from the UK, and many women have faced sexual assault without getting justice." She also mentioned that she felt it was like trafficking, comparing it to a situation where something seems too good to be true, but it turns out not to be. This suggests that people need to be cautious, even in places that seem safe on the surface. That's it for today. So what are your thoughts on this weird Dubai porta potty? Let us know in the...
All right. So come on back, come on back, come on back, come on back. I know you're at this point thoroughly disgusted, and so am I. Yeah. So it's a very different from the Dubai that we see with the Lamborghinis and the Bugattis and the Ferraris and the Rolls Royce. And, they're on the roads like, America has Toyotas. So they're wealthy local people. They're business tycoons, tourists with money to spend. They rent or they buy these luxurious vehicles just for the experience. And some police, from what I read, they even drive Lamborghinis and Bentleys. That's over the top. Yes, it is. But I guess that's Dubai. Dubai has become a top destination for social media influencers. The city's architecture, it's got lavish hotels, desert safaris, yacht parties, and upscale shopping make for Instagrammable moments wherever you turn. And influencers fly in. Sometimes they're sponsored. Sometimes it's, they pay out of pocket, and they show off luxury lifestyles. They're sipping gold flake cappuccinos, and they're lounging at private pools, or they're riding camels in their designer outfits. So it's also attractive to to entrepreneurs and high income professionals because of tax benefits, and its position as a global business hub. Now that draws even more wealth and luxury into the city. So while Dubai has become synonymous with glam and gold, critics point out that this luxurious image is heavily curated. Behind the scenes, there's a workforce of migrant laborers who build and maintain the city's luxuries, and they often do this under very harsh conditions. So the city lives in contrast. You have glitz, and then you have hardship, and they coexist side by side. So I have questions. So, okay, one of the questions that I wanted to know if is these porta potty parties, is it human trafficking? Now it can be, because it depends on the situation. Now human trafficking isn't just about abduction, or when you force someone to to do something, when you abduct them and you force them. It can also be involved also coercion, coercion, sorry, manipulation and exploitation, especially when there's an imbalance of power. Now, in the cases surrounding these alleged parties, you often have ultra wealthy individuals offering huge sums of money to young women in exchange for degrading or humiliating acts. Even if no one is physically forcing them, if someone feels like they have no real choice, due to they have like a financial desperation or a lack of opportunity, then that's called coercion. And that's a key element in how many legal systems will define human trafficking. So again, it does depend on that situation. Now, another question I have is, is consent truly present in these situations? Now, consent is only valid when it's freely given. When it's freely given, it's informed and without any pressure or any manipulation. So, on the surface, someone might say, well, they agreed to it, or they knew what they were doing, before they even arrived. But if a person is only agreeing because they're in debt, or if they're afraid, or they're trying to maintain a certain lifestyle that they can't afford, then that's not true consent. That's a survival based decision making, gets processed, right? So when someone agrees to something, but then they later express trauma, regret, or emotional harm from it, that's a sign that what happened crossed ethical boundaries, even if it wasn't illegal or even if it wasn't on paper. And we're exposing the dark underbelly of what happens when money, power, and desperation collide. It's not just about sensational stories. It's about asking ourselves why people feel pressured into extreme choices just to feel seen, whether they are safe or successful. And so I just want to stress that right now we live in a world where success is often measured by what you can show off. If you are, even if you're just not even a social media person, but the minute you turn on your phone, you'll see social media influencers that are sitting in fur, or they have the luxury bags or the shoes or the car. So at this point, this is where we are. And you see people walking around with stacks of cash. They have wads of cash and they're just showing it all, showing the jewelry. They're dripping in diamonds and gold and emeralds and just whatever. They're showing you, I live in a life of luxury, and their homes are beautifully decorated in marble and gold and, just opulence. Now, for some, social media fame and a lavish lifestyle become so desirable that they are willing to risk dignity, health, and peace of mind to attain or even to maintain such lifestyles. Now, I say let's go ahead and normalize real conversations about money, power, and survival. We tiptoe around this. Everything's being whispered, but it's time we have real conversations and bring things like these out in the open. And we also need to be honest, and we also need to be judgment free. Judgment free is very, very difficult because, not that some people sit on a high horse, but there are certain things when you see people do to degrade themselves, you're like, I could never do that. And it's based on how you were raised, your environment, and things of that nature. And it's really easy to sit back and judge one another. But we want to try to have judgment free conversations. I try not to judge. I am also myself guilty of that. I'm a human being, but I try my best not to judge an individual, because you know what? You're not in a certain circumstances. If you're not in certain circumstances, you don't know yourself how you would react. Some people come from loving, supporting households and family members and friends, and you kind of build that village around you, while others didn't. They came from neglect and abuse, and they came from a background where lying was the norm, and scamming and thieving. And so that's just your MO. That's how you operate. So again, we need to have honest, judgment-free conversations about what financial desperation really looks like, especially for young women trying to break into industries that prioritize looks, status, and performance over your physical and mental well-being. One thing I would say, we need to stop glorifying luxury without context. Luxury isn't bad. I feel like if you work hard, right, and you see something you like, whether you like the brand, you like the feel, like cashmere. Some people love the soft cashmere. To me, that's luxury. It's expensive, and it feels just good being on your skin. So, I think if you like it, that isn't bad, but it's when it's worshipped as the ultimate goal, then we create pressure to get it by any means necessary. And so we want to go ahead and alleviate, we want to go ahead and alleviate that, and we want to elevate authenticity, resilience, and integrity the way we do these designer labels and these luxury brands. We also want to teach the next generation that, the power of self-worth. Young people need to know that they are more than what they have, and no amount of money is worth losing your voice, your soul, or your safety. So let's go ahead and normalize that moving forward. I know not everybody's going to agree, and some people are going to say, "Oh, be quiet and let people live their life how they want to live their life." That's fine too. But I know within my very small circle that I keep very small, there's certain things that we still keep as value, and that's what I love about my little tiny circle. So also, I wanted to go into the story about Maria Kovalchuk. Maria Kovalchuk, she's Ukrainian, beautiful, beautiful young girl. I believe she's an OnlyFans model. And so it was headline news. She ended up going to Dubai, and she was missing. She was missing for about 10 days. So I want to show you with some law experts on this mysterious and sinister disappearance of OnlyFans model Maria Kovalchuk. All right, so let's go ahead and listen, and let's view this
story. What began as a promised modeling opportunity in one of the world's most luxurious cities has devolved into an international scandal, with Ukrainian authorities now investigating what they believe may be a brutal case of human trafficking. This all involves 20-year-old Ukrainian OnlyFans model Maria Kovalchuk. Now, Maria apparently attended a party in Dubai back on March 9th, and for days following that party, there had been no sign of her. So naturally, her family began to fear the worst, till police made a disturbing discovery 10 days later on March 19th. It was Maria. She was alive, but she was in terrible shape, brutally battered with injuries. And Dubai authorities believe that she sustained this from a dramatic fall. However, her family and Ukrainian police are looking into something far more sinister: human trafficking. Now, before I go any further into this, I want to bring on a special guest. We're joined by international lawyer David Tafuri to talk more about this. David, thanks so much for taking the time. First, on a light note, your book collection, it eclipses mine, and you told me that it's actually every law passed by Congress. I mean, it's one thing to have a legal guest. You're really showing all of them up. Look at that.
That's right. And people throw these books away now, and I think they have a good look to them.
They do.
Fine aging to them.
And David has read every one of them. So, David, because of that, now I can talk more about this. This is a really disturbing situation. Can you talk to me just generally what you know of human trafficking, sex trafficking, particularly overseas, what we should be thinking about there, generally speaking, before we get into the details of this case?
Sure. Well, first of all, there's a lot of facts missing from this case, and it's not clear how observers are already concluding that this was human trafficking. So there's a greater awareness over the last decade or two about human trafficking. I mean, it's gone on for centuries, but there's growing laws and organizations, NGOs who are trying to prevent human trafficking of young women like this, which is very important. And also police and investigators are being trained on human trafficking cases so that they can recognize them more quickly. Unfortunately, it happens in countries like the UAE.
And let's talk about that. So let's go back to March 9th. And that is when Maria, who was known online as Mary Lou, told friends she was invited to this hotel party in Dubai. And according to the Daily Mail, she'd even said that she was invited by two men who claimed they were representatives in the modeling industry. And Maria reportedly told her mother that she was planning to attend this party and that she was even going to cancel a flight to Thailand that was scheduled for March 11th, where she was supposed to meet friends. And this is also according to reporting from the Daily Mail. But even though the outlet is reporting that she was canceling that flight, it's kind of unclear at this point if anyone actually knew this, because when she failed to board the flight, her mother, Anna Kovalchuk, apparently grew frantic, immediately contacted Dubai police to launch a search for her. So for 10 agonizing days, there was no sign of Maria until March 19th, when she was found alive, but alone on the side of a road in Dubai, and in horrible shape, barely alive, suffering from life-threatening injuries. When emergency responders arrived, they discovered Maria had severe bruising and lacerations, multiple shattered limbs, even a broken spine. How is it possible that she could survive this? Well, according to People, she was rushed to a nearby hospital, underwent 4 emergency surgeries, and miraculously, her condition stabilized. Hey, I just want to take a
All right. Welcome back. Let's come on in. I just want to keep your focus, keep your energy. This is a heavy topic. And, as I say, I like to discuss things that, social issues, because it affects our community. This affects our community. And I first learned about this not too long after COVID. I mean, I love, I'm not gonna lie, I love social media. And when I get super stressed out, or it's constant work, business, obligations, back to back, I'll just flip on social media, because the things I see on are hilarious. It's better than any TV show, any kind. I mean, I don't even know if they make TV shows. I just see a bunch of reality shows, and although I don't watch them, but some of the things that I see little, so I get to know some of the people who come in some of these reality shows, but I don't really know the depths and things I miss out, because I'm really watching like a 60-second clip of someone, and so I become kind of familiar with some of the names. So I'll go just so I can get a laugh and just release, and then pray, because some of it is garbage. It's just trash. And so I really got sucked into it, I guess like most people did during COVID, and it was locked down and there was nothing to do and everywhere was closed, and so you pull out your phone and you're watching people do TikTok dances, and people are coming out with revelations about their significant other and who's sleeping with who and who's poly, and so the social media thing is it really amplifies a lot of why people do what they do, and so they kind of live lives that are not authentic, and everything is just for show. And so I just want to say, before I go on, the video that we watched of Maria, I'm really sorry to hear of the maltreatment of the young women at these events, at these porta potty parties, and that the fact that they've been affected and traumatized. Our hearts goes out to you and to all your family members, and also Maria. Please make a speedy recovery. So Yeah. So on March 21st, 25, the police in Dubai issued a statement to the Mirror. And let me just, okay, so Dubai police, listen to this. This is from the Dubai Police Department. Dubai police confirmed that the Ukrainian citizen previously reported missing is currently hospitalized, receiving medical care with her family present. A comprehensive investigation has revealed that she sustained serious injuries after entering a restricted construction site alone and falling from a height. Dubai police continue to work closely with the family and relevant authorities to all necessary assistance. The police and media are urged to refrain from sharing unverified information and to respect the privacy of the individual and family during this challenging time. That's a statement from the Dubai police. Now, her mother, Anna Koch, she also has released her own statement. And what she says, there is an assumption that she went to a party, but the promoter who organized these parties did not see her. Maria was found in hospital in serious condition. She has no documents, no phone, nothing. She underwent 4 operations and she cannot speak. So that meant that's released from Maria's mother. Okay, so this rise of social media, people watching, and people, the content creators wanting the views and the life from a content creator, right? But you see it, I'm growing my audience authentically. This is how I live. I'm not perfect. I'm not a goody two shoe, but I try not to have anything with vulgarity or cursing. Like I said, I'm not perfect because I do cuss like a sailor. I do try to watch my mouth because you have to keep it poised. You have to keep it cute. You have to, and you work on yourself as you get older. You want to be more poised. You want to be more gentle, more thin, um, um, because you never know. You never know who you'll meet. You never know who. Listen, I've been out in public, and seeing people at wherever, come find out that I'm related to folks where we meet up at some family function, and guess what? That's my relatives. So it's happened on more than one occasion, several occasions. So you never know who's watching, and if I can remember people, and my memory is not the aging like fine wine. You want to be demure. You want to be classy, even when you're in a high stressed because you never know. You go out on the road and you act up, and someone is going to remember you. And you never know. That could be a business opportunity that's missed because they remember you. That could be some kind of a connection that could have elevated you to higher heights. And you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're being judged. And I'm telling you, these young people, these OnlyFans and the things that they're doing now, it's going to come back to haunt them. I don't want to say any names, but someone saying president of the United States is married to someone who posed girl on girl pictures, no matter how long ago it was. That's the stigma. That's what someone is known for. Our beloved Vanessa Williams, she was stripped of her title because of her raunchy pictures. And so I'm not victim blaming, and but what I'm saying is that we need to bring back shade, to bring back privacy. We need to bring back grace. We need to bring back being poised, and we need to bring back integrity. So one of the problems that I see is we don't talk about exploitation. We don't talk about it out loud. And these situations are mostly whispered. They're whispered about, and then they're dismissed as tabloid gossip. And this is what enables a cycle of abuse. So we're enabling these abusers when we don't talk about it and when we dismiss it as tabloid gossip. So it's time for us, like I said, to bring back morals, to bring back virtue, to bring back pride, to bring back poise, to bring back self-worth, to bring back humility, to be humble. That's what I'm going to leave you with on this thing. So my loyal family, the Supernova Tosha Show podcast can be heard on these apps such as Spotify, Pandora, and also iHeartRadio. The goal is to be on the top 10 best podcast list to listen to. And so please, if you could like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also spread the word. Everything that I'm asked to do does not cost you a thing. So if you can just say, hey, you know what? Go ahead and subscribe to this young lady who is trying to grow her channel without OnlyFans, without getting buck naked. Just go ahead and spread the word. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and, do a show or two. Type something, anything. If you want me to discuss something, I'm not afraid to touch anything. I do have to say that you can't talk about the sitting president anymore, because I did one podcast and it was scrubbed from the internet. So it looks like I can't do anything. I can't say, I'm not going to say I can't do any politics. I just can't do anything on him. So if you don't see anything about, and I think I'm not biased. I try to be as positive as I can. So there you have it. Anyways, my loyal family, I am so grateful for you. I want to thank you so much. I appreciate your presence.